into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Very good morning, you beautiful people. Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast show. It's a Tuesday morning. What's up, team? The men in black have entered the building.
We've arrived. Feeling sharp, sounding sharp this morning. Something special is going to happen in this studio today. That's all I'm saying, man. Just feel my vibe. Feel this.
Absolutely feeling
that
it,
vibe,
absolutely
man.
feeling it.
Cannot wait for that. So we've got a fantastic show. A lot of love for Shimmy Isaacs, one of the funniest women alive. She's got a brand new one-man show, which she's going to give us all the deets.
And you know how we step into a Tuesday? It's song and dance on the Expresso show, and we've got Master KG performing for us. And that's not all, because I mean, someone else is going to perform as well, so you'll get to know who exactly.
Wonderful one this morning. You just know who that somebody is going to be. But good morning, Zoe. High five. There we go for you as well. And from our side, it's a great Tuesday morning. Thank you very much for joining us. It's also Kidney Awareness Week. That's what we're talking about in our health discussion with Dr. Darren Green a little bit later on this morning. Your body's natural filters and why we should put so much emphasis and put the spotlight right on them.
Gotta love a Tuesday, especially because it's also Tuesday Tunes with our very own Katlego Maboy. So what you need to do is head on over to social media. We've put up 3 songs for you to choose because it's also Tuesday, and Kat will perform them live on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
It's going to be a fun one. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can hear all the woos going around. Everyone's excited for what is Kat going to perform. Stick around. It's going to be a great Tuesday. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let's get it up to date with your news headlines. Here's Leanne.
In your national news this morning, an explosion at the Rainmetal Denel Munition in Somerset West in the Western Cape yesterday afternoon claimed the lives of 8 people. A media statement released last night said an explosion occurred during operations and destroyed an entire building and immediate surrounding blast walls. Circumstances surrounding the explosion are still unclear at this stage, and an investigation was due to continue at first light this morning. The affected areas have been cordoned off due to it still being unsafe. Cape Town supply dams have just squeezed out the city's defined danger zone as the recent rains have raised the combined water level to just on 66% of storage capacity. The end of the defined danger zone is when the dam level rises above 65% at the end of the rainy season. This is the highest the dam levels have been at this time of year in 2 years. The city hopes this will persuade the National Department of Water and Sanitation to go easy on severe water restrictions. Now moving further abroad, carcasses of 87 elephants have been found near a famous wildlife sanctuary in Botswana. Dr. Mike Chase of Elephants Without Borders said the scale of poaching deaths was the largest ever seen in Africa. This spike coincides with Botswana's anti-poaching unit being disarmed in May, a month after President Mokgweetsi Masisi was sworn into office. Botswana has the world's largest elephant population, but poachers have been breaching its border. Most of the 87 dead elephants were killed for their tusks. 5 white rhinos have also been poached. And then finally, officials in Brazil have blamed a lack of funding and the dilapidated state of the museum for a huge fire that ravaged the country's National Museum in Rio de Janeiro on Sunday. One of the largest anthropology and natural history collections in the Americas was almost totally destroyed. The cause is not known, but Culture Minister Sergio Saletio was quoted as saying that they may have been ignited by a small paper hot air balloon landing on the roof. Most of the 20 million items in the museum that was contained there went up in flames. Well, that was your 6 o'clock news update. Let's get a look at what's happening in, I'm sure, what is the very exciting world of sport. Graham has all of those details.
Exciting indeed in the world of football. Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric and Mohamed Salah, of course, all named as the 3 finalists for the FIFA's Men's Player of the Year award. All 3 players also finalists for the UEFA Player of the Year award, which Luka Modric, of course, took home in Monaco last week. In the men's Coach of the Year category, Croatia's Zlatko Dalic, France's Didier Deschamps, and Real Madrid's Zinedine Zidane all understandably making that shortlist. The FIFA award ceremony will take place on the 24th of September in London, of course, in the UK. On to tennis, it was plain sailing for Novak Djokovic in the US Open round of 16 last night as he beat Portugal's João Sousa in straight sets. The two-time US champion showed why he is one of the favorites for this year's title as he cruised to a 6-3, 6-4, 6-3 victory. Also in action yesterday, Naomi Osaka moved into her first Grand Slam quarterfinal with a 2-1 win over Arina Sabalenka, while last year's beaten ladies finalist Madison Keys beat Dominika Kibulkova in straight sets. And then bringing it back home for netball, the University of the Free State kept their place at the top of the varsity netball log with a crushing 92-46 victory over the University of the Western Cape in Bloem last night. Home crowd were treated to a thrilling match as their team led from start to finish to keep their unbeaten run in the tournament going. In some other results out of last night, Puka, they thrashed VUT 94 points to 30. Marties beat UJ by 33 points, while Tuks they downed the Madibas by 67 points to 39. That's where we leave our sport for now.
Right, let's quickly take a look at your weather and those temperatures for the very first time. Before we get into it, though, we've asked you to send some of your pictures. We would love to see what it looks like in your parts of the world on your Tuesday morning. And we got a great picture here from Louis Cherry this morning, our regular photographer. Good morning, Louis. He has sent us a beautiful photo of a sunrise there at the beach in the south coast. Absolutely stunning, breathtaking. Wow. Mostly sunny and pleasant conditions expected for that side of the world with a maximum of 23 degrees. Thank you very much, Louis. Appreciate your picture, but continue to send those pictures. South Africa would love to see what it looks like at your part of the world this morning on your Tuesday. And then once you've taken that photo, just post it on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page, and we'll gladly give you a bit of a shout out right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Getting into your temperatures for your Tuesday this morning, Polokwane 11 minimum, reaching a hot 30 later on, Mbombela 12 and also maximum 30, Pretoria 12.28, Johannesburg 10.26, Mahikeng 13.30, Klerksdorp 12 and a high of 29, Kimberley 7.29, Bloemfontein 6 and a high of 25, Richards Bay 14.27, Pietermaritzburg 10 minimum with a maximum 26 degrees, Durban 16.24, Mthatha 9.27, East London 15 reaching a high of 26 degrees, Cradock 6 this morning with a maximum 27, Port Elizabeth 13.25, George 9.19, Sutherland 2 minimum, nice and cold, staying cool with a maximum 16, Cape Town also on the cooler side of things, 10 minimum with a maximum 16, and rain expected for your Tuesday. Some good news, hopefully even more so for our dams. Worcester 8 minimum with a maximum 18 degrees, Springbok 2.14 and Uppington on 7 minimum, reaching a nice and warm maximum of 28 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for the 6 o'clock bulletin. We'll keep you updated throughout the course of your morning as always. I'm back in half an hour's time just after 6:30 with another weather update.
Well, we live in a world that is constantly changing and life seems to be getting so much faster by the day. So as we welcome today, the 4th of September, the 4th is here. Let's take a look at what happened in history on this day.
September the 4th. All right, we take it back all the way to the 1800s. In fact, 1888, where a gentleman by the name of George Eastman registered the trademark for Kodak and received a patent for his camera that uses film.
Wow, that is amazing.
1888. We've come a long way with the way we take photographs
and look at you,
since then.
still standing. Love, love, love. Now, on this day in 1972 at the Munich Olympics, American swimmer Mark Spitz became the first person to win 7 gold medals in a single game. Now, this record stood until fellow swimmer Michael Phelps broke the record with 8 at the 2008 Beijing Olympics.
That's incredible.
Hey.
Did you see that first picture of Mark Spitz?
I did not.
Can we show it? Is it possible?
Is that him there?
No, the first... It's
That's
just
the first one.
No, the second one with him, we're holding the medals.
Oh! Like
it's
7.
It's a sign of the times, a sign of the times. Anyway, and also, on this day in 1998, 2 Stanford University students, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, founded a company called Google, which is now one of the most valuable brands in the entire world. And of course, to Google is something that is now used as a vernacular. It's a verb, to Google.
Shame.
Yeah.
Yahoo.
Have you Googled?
I've Googled, yeah. Google it.
Exactly.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Well, that is our bite-sized dose of what happened on this day in history. Seize the day and make it one for the books.
Well, we move from a dose of history and we step into then now. We're going to be checking out a game review. It's a sports game, and if you are an enthusiast, you're going to love this one. It's brand new, and Gareth Woods is going to be telling you all about it.
So why don't you go fill up your coffee cups? Princess is doing that for us right now, and when we get back, we're going to chat to Wesley Bosch. He is joining, in fact, he's heading off to Colombia in November, representing the under-20 South African team at the Futsal World Cup. That's coming up after the break.
Please can I have some coffee, Princess?
Wow. Hey. Thanks, Graham, for catching on to, it's just... You saw that picture, though. Cool. Finesse. Wow, yeah. Can we go from the top, please? How long do you have now? We can't hear the track from the beginning here. Drummer can't hear the heel. How many seconds?
Don't we look good together? There's a reason why they watch all night long. Yeah, I know we'll turn heads forever. So tonight I'm gonna show you all. When I'm walking with you, I want the whole room change. Baby, that's what you do. Oh, baby, don't play. Put it on my confidence. So blame it on your measurements. Just shit down on side. That's right. We out here dripping in finesse. It don't make no sense. Out here dripping in finesse. You know it, you know. We out here dripping in finesse.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. You know what Tuesdays are all about. Tuesdays about having you choose what song you'd like Katlego to sing. And we've posted up on our Facebook, which song would you like Katlego Maboe to perform? We've given you 3 options. Unstoppable by The Score, Weeping by Bright Blue, as well as Finesse, Bruno Mars. Your comments have been arriving fast and thick. And here's one from Lebogang Busang saying, morning fam, I'd like him to sing Finesse by Bruno Mars. Sina Moluko says, morning fam, I choose Finesse by Bruno Mars. And Lilonke says, morning fam, hashtag Tuesday tunes, Finesse, Bruno Mars. Please, please. Marissa Brits also saying, morning fam, could Kat please serenade us with Finesse by Bruno Mars. Wow. Well, you get to make your voice heard. Go onto our social media and vote for the song that you'd like Kat to sing for us. Well, the boys are at it again. This week, our ultimate gamer, Gareth Woods, plays a little footy in the latest game review of Pro Evolution Soccer 2019.
All right, well, we are back in action with Gareth Woods today, and we're getting our boots dirty, so to speak. The Soccer World Cup may be over, but Pro Evolution Soccer 2019 is right on our doorstep. And here we are, been busy. I can't believe I still have the ball after doing that intro,
I wasn't sure whether I'm allowed to tackle you while this is all going on.
Yo, this is okay. I know that we need to talk about this game, but I know whenever you play soccer, you focus.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Pro Evolution
I'll try not to score while you're talking.
Please do, man. Obviously, one of Konami's annual releases, the new one is here. It looks beautiful, graphics great. Of course, FIFA being his biggest rival here. How does this one measure up, dude? Sorry, bad kick. Bad kick, man.
Took me off my game. So I mean, it's obviously it comes out every year, and people always ask the question, how much has changed this time? It's one of those they've worked on like the winning formula, as it were, and then kind of tweaked certain areas, but you wouldn't see any kind of major changes. But the same with FIFA every year. I mean, it's like they're coming with bells and whistles. I suppose the major change here at least from what I've noticed, is it appears that the differences between kind of player skill sets and all that. So when you see a guy with like 10 skill in ball handling, whatever, those are very much more balanced. So it used to feel like, it didn't matter what the scores are, you didn't really notice the difference in a guy with 10 in fitness or 10 in, or 4. Whereas now you really notice the difference. If you're playing with a team that's 5-star versus a team that's 3-star, they've really kind of weighted those differences.
That's it.
But I mean, it has kind of all the features that you'd expect from a soccer simulator game. They've moved away from being soccer games and become soccer simulators, especially if you go into like the career mode. You can play, pick a player and walk through his entire career, trying to get signed and join a team, and then, get to an even better team and get signed and all the kind of transfers that go with that. You can also do the player management or the kind of team management sort of thing.
Good shot, man. Good shot.
So the team management thing, and then obviously you're managing all the egos and everyone else's careers and injuries and all that sort of stuff as you make your team through the season.
And I think that is the interesting thing. It's also nice now that the soccer league's up in action, the English Premier League and are going as well. So it's nice to play along, I'm sure, as well.
So I think one of the big things, everyone will always try and compare the two, FIFA and PES.
Yeah.
The one thing is, obviously this is launching a month before FIFA comes out. So if you're hungry for a new soccer game, certainly it's going to scratch that itch.
Absolutely.
And certainly, I mean, like as you said, with the leagues having just started, the fact that you can jump straight into the kind of season, the 2018-2019 season immediately is certainly pretty cool.
And I'd like the fact that, I mean, instead of focusing on stats here, it's got the system built in called Magic Moments. And so how does that work, and how does that kind of bring a new dynamic to the game as well?
Yeah, it really just tries to focus on kind of key moments in the game. I haven't, to be honest, experienced much of it. I've only really been doing the training modes at this stage. As you can see by how bad my play is at the moment.
Oh, dude, I don't know what I'm doing, but...
Oh, okay, well then I'm even more scared of how bad I am at this game. Because I've at least played the training camps.
But I mean, let's, for instance, I mean, if a coach of a soccer team walks on and he's got a good rep as well, I mean, how does that impact the players within the game?
So that was quite interesting. I was reading up on that. I haven't experienced it myself, but it turns out if you design a team that perhaps doesn't have the best synergy, so you don't have roles fulfilled in all the different areas, that will then determine, you'll see a significant decrease in their kind of abilities or their performance unless your coach's abilities are quite high. So it's almost like by getting a coach with a high coaching stat, you can manage kind of unruly players, as it were.
Yeah, and I love the fact, I mean, that once again, with these kind of games, like you said, it's a simulator, you're very much involved. I'm trying to find the sprint button here. I think that's it. I think that's it.
RB1,
Gareth, thank you for bringing this along, man. I'm going to still see if I can actually get a goal on this side. But, I mean, it is difficult. I love the gameplay of this as well. But Pro Evolution Football 2019, check it out. If you played it, let us know what you thought about it, if you get your hands on it. And also maybe if this is something that you also be interested, we'd love to hear your gaming thoughts on our social media feeds. Did you just get a goal?
Yeah.
Wasn't fair. That wasn't fair, I was thinking out.
Goalie. He was just standing there. The minute he came out of the box, he's fair game.
I absolutely love that. If that didn't scratch your footballing itch, we have another opportunity to support a South African national team in action at the Under-20 Futsal International Championships happening in November. Wesley Bosch joins us now, who I would assume must be feeling still pretty relaxed, maybe a little bit nervous about the challenge ahead. Welcome to the show, man. How is the mood in the camp? This has got to be a pretty big one.
Yeah, we're very excited now at the moment. Much work hard now on training.
I think just maybe set the scene for us. For those who aren't initiated in the futsal kind of style of football, it's one of the most fast-paced. I think undoubtedly fitness is absolutely key. What goes into futsal football? How are you guys training for the tournament at the moment?
We're training high intensity every day. We must work hard on ourselves at home. We must just put everything into your best at home.
It's such a squad-reliant kind of football. It's only as strong as the weakest link there. What would you say differentiates? What's different about futsal and what's needed of a player in that kind of format as opposed to maybe the 11-a-side game, do you think?
You must be all times focused. Your stamina must be on top. So there's a lot of...
I can just see you like,
running. Lot of running. But you can just hard work.
I love the fact that it's becoming a lovely kind of gateway into other formats of football as well, but it's certainly cemented its place as an individual sport from a spectator's perspective. It's fast-paced, tons of goals, which we absolutely love. How far off the international pace, or how close to that international pace are we? How tough a challenge is it going to be going over to compete against the best in the world?
Yeah, we just must go do our best there. And that's how it make the country proud. So we're just going to go play our hearts out.
Who are the top stars? Who are you most worried about encountering when you get to Colombia?
I think the South American teams, they're more advanced than us, but we're there, we're going to play our hearts out for the country.
How special is that? And do you think it's sunk in for the players now that you are out there representing South Africa? You got your national colours as an opportunity that doesn't come around very often. How does the team feel about this? Is it pressure or is it excitement?
Yeah, the pressure, the excitement, there's no words to explain. This is almost like a dream. But getting there, the nerves is getting out now.
Dude, I have a feeling you guys are going to be so well drilled by the time you get there that you won't have time for nerves. How do we support you guys? When do you head over exactly? What's the next step for the team?
The next step of the team, we head over the 12th of November. And from there, we must still find out.
Then you come home with the trophy. That's all that we need to know. Dude, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And all the best of luck to the rest of the team as well. I know this is a massive opportunity, but something that hopefully you can enjoy along the ride as well.
Yes, sir.
All the best to our under-20 futsal team representing South Africa in Colombia in November. Go and show a little bit of support. This is obviously an incredibly viewer-friendly format of football, so go and support the teams locally as well if you can.
We are certainly behind Team SA. Well, we're about to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to get to know our performer, Master KG, a little bit better. He's been making music since the age of 13, so it's going to be nice to sit down with a game of rapid-fire questions.
Exactly, and then we have the one, the only Shimmy Isaacs in studio. Here she is, everybody looking amazing, and we talk more about her one-woman comedy show after the break. Yes, girl.
Looking fabulous.
Do the things. Do the things.
Okay.
Come on.
Ow, ow, ow.
Welcome back to this Tuesday morning. It is your feel-good breakfast show, and it's about time that we get to know our guest artist this morning, none other than Master KG, ladies and gentlemen! Shabere, who's it, boy?
Juanito Mus.
Nice one, man. Good to have you on the show. So before we get to the music questions and talking about your career and what you've been doing, we get to a 60-second series of quick fire questions, and you answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. Thank you very much, Since Presence. That's for you. Okay, so are you ready?
Yes,
Let's start the clock. All right. Do you prefer tea or coffee?
Tea.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Your favorite type of muffin?
I don't like any.
You don't like Muppets. Your favorite holiday destination?
Cape Town.
Okay. Yeah. If the toilet paper roll is really low but not completely out, do you replace it or do you leave it for someone else to replace it?
I replace it.
Your favorite meal?
Lunchbox.
Do you prefer writing or typing?
Writing.
What time did you go to bed last night?
1 a.m.
LA or New York?
LA.
Your favorite song?
Song Skeleton Move by myself.
Fair enough. If your house was on fire, name 3 things you would rescue first.
My music, my studio, my speakers, my clothes.
Yeah, you only get 3 things. Now you're taking everything. If you could invite 3 celebrities for dinner, who would they be?
For dinner, David Guetta, let me see, Beyonce, and also DJ Fresh.
The DJ Fresh?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm assuming these are the people that inspire you.
Yeah.
From a musical point of view.
That's true.
But I also understand, Jorge, you make your music using a language ebitang King Sulubedu.
Yeah, Kilobedu.
Kilobedu.
Yeah, Kilobedu.
So Kilobedu, where is the language Kilobedu from?
Limpopo. Yeah, around Zanin.
And is it a mixture of a language, of 2 languages, or is it its own original
Yeah, actually,
language?
like Spediana, they are like similar.
Yeah. Okay.
Because like Slovedu snale iwinyana so na reaba aribule like riba bolela bo so na reaba aribule.
Okay. So wait, I need a few more examples. So let's say Kasipedi unore kinwa kofi. Kasulubedu, what do you say?
Kinwa kofi. Yeah, kinwa kofi is going to doesn't change.
Okay, give me another example of something that's different.
I don't know, maybe simple or man.
Yeah, I'm going.
Nar gyado.
Gyado.
Yeah, gyado.
Ka kilobed.
Yeah, ka kilobed.
All right. Okay, man. So tell me about your love for music and where it all started.
Actually, I loved music from way back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Then, but again, got 2013. That's more, but again, 2009.
Yeah. Yeah, so you wanted, when you were in 2009, you said you wanted to really go into it and really make it happen for yourself.
Yeah, because like from Salnawana, I cannot play better the drums, radio too much.
So rhythm you were always a drummer?
Yeah.
Okay. And then when did it actually become real for you, when you actually took your first big step into the music scene?
It was 2013. Yeah, that's where Ngaro, I started to see where I'm going, or like, maybe I can be a star one day.
Yeah. And speaking of where you're going, tell me about your big future plans. What do you want to see for yourself?
I want to see myself going all over the world. I want to see my name, Master KG name on top. Everyone all over the world respecting the brand, you know. Representing my country all over the world,
With your own jet there, Master KG. Beautiful stuff, man. Listen, I'm looking forward to hearing you performing your music a little bit later on. Thank you for joining us on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Tuesday tunes are plenty all across the board. But one more time for him, Master KG is in the studio, ladies and gentlemen.
National news: an explosion at the Rheinmetall Denel munition in Somerset West in the Western Cape yesterday afternoon claimed the lives of 8 people. An investigation was due to continue at first light this morning, and the affected areas have been cordoned off due to it being unsafe. Cape Town supply dams have just squeezed out of the city's defined danger zone as the recent rains have raised the combined water levels to just on 66% of storage capacity. This is the highest the dam levels have been at this time of year in 2 years. On the international front, carcasses of 87 elephants have been found near a famous wildlife sanctuary in Botswana. Dr. Mike Chase of Elephants Without Borders says this scale of poaching deaths was the largest ever seen in Africa. And finally, officials in Brazil have blamed a lack of funding and the dilapidated state of the museum for a huge fire that ravaged the country's National Museum in Rio de Janeiro on Sunday. One of the largest anthropology and natural history collections in the Americas was almost totally destroyed. Well, that was your 6:30 news update. Here's Graham with another look at what's happening in the sport. Thank you.
In football, Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric and Mohamed Salah have been named as the 3 finalists for FIFA's Men's Player of the Year. The FIFA Awards will take place on the 24th of September in London. On to tennis, plain sailing for Novak Djokovic in the US Open round of 16 last night as he beat Portugal's João Sousa in straight sets. And in netball, bringing it back home, the University of the Free State get their place at the top of the varsity netball log with a crushing 92-46 victory over UWC last night. Also in action, Pucka thrashed for UT 94-30. Marty's beating UJ by 33 points. More on all of those stories at the top of the hour.
Right, let's quickly take a first look in terms of your roads and traffic. Firstly, though, a quick petrol price update. According to the Minister of Energy, Jeff Radebe, petrol is expected to increase by 4.9 cents per litre. 95 octane petrol will cost you 15 Rand 49 cents at the coast and 16 Rand and 8 cents in Gauteng. Just be aware of that. And then taking a look at the roads, Gauteng Fairland, there's been an accident on the N1 northbound. That's after 14th Avenue. The right lane has been blocked, so please approach there with caution. That's what I have for you in terms of your traffic and roads this morning. If you're still heading out, please drive with care. I'll bring you another update in half an hour's time. All right, getting into your weather right now. Starting off with some of your pictures. We've asked you to send in and show us what it looks like in your parts of the world. We've got a beautiful picture this morning of a sunrise from Fiona Evely this morning. Thank you very much, Fiona. There's all the way there in Glengariff in East London. Absolutely stunning. Thank you so much, Fiona. Mostly sunny and warm conditions are expected that part of the world with a maximum of 26, and you can expect also some showers tomorrow. So something you can look forward to. But we would love to see some more of your pictures, what it looks like in your parts of the world. Take those pictures and post them on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page, and we'll give you a shout out right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. For now, let's get into your weather going into your Tuesday. Polokwane starting off on 11 minimum, reaching a high of 30 degrees Celsius. Mbombela 12 and a high of 30. Pretoria 12.28. Johannesburg 10.26. Mahikeng 13.30. Klerksdorp 12 and a high of 29. Kimberley 7.29. Bloemfontein 6.25. Richards Bay 14.27. Pietermaritzburg 10 minimum with a maximum 26. Durban 16.24. Mtata 9.27. East London 15.26. Cradock 6.27. Port Elizabeth 13.25. George 9.19. Sutherland 2 minimum with a maximum 16 degrees, nice and cool. Cape Town also on the cooler side of things, 10 minimum with a maximum 16 as well, with some rain expected later. Worcester 8.18. Springbok 2.14. And Upington on a 7 minimum with a maximum 28 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for the 6:30 bulletin. I'm back just after 7 with another look.
Baie dankie, Strydom. Well, we're about to take a quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. JP Sebastian joins us as we talk movies, reviewing the new Mark Wahlberg movie, Mile 22.
Also still coming up after the break, Shimi Isaac's Funny Woman is in the building. She's going to be telling us all about her one-woman show. It's called Mooney, and it's coming up after the break.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso on SABC3. We are also joined by a very, very special guest, the one and only Shimmy Isaac.
Woo! Stop it, darling. Money.
It's a new show. We're going to get to connect with her a little bit later.
Before we get into it, let's just talk about some really amazing things that are happening on the movie front now. A fictional movie of Archbishop Desmond Tutu's role in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission is to be released soon. The movie is titled The Forgiven, and it's based on Michael Ashton's play, The Archbishop and the Antichrist, and it's directed by Roland Joff. Now, Roland said this. He says, this is a subject that's both social and political, but also rather personal, because let's be honest, we've all done things in our lives that we need forgiveness for, that we haven't come to terms with. We are all prisoners of our history, whether it's social, cultural, or family. This is what Joff said. Now, Desmond Tutu, wait for it, will be played by none other than American actor Forrest Whitaker. Levels. The trailer, levels. Now, the trailer for the movie hasn't been released for good feelings, or rather with good feelings. Whitaker was quoted as saying that filling Tutu's shoes was challenging. He said, I know his laugh, his sense of humor, how he felt, his passion, his faith, but he has a graceful way in which he looks at the world. Trying to pull those things together to capture the spirit of the man was challenging. But the movie was actually shot in Cape Town, and it features several scenes from Paulsmoor Maximum Security Prison. The producer says that Tutu has given his blessing to the production as well. So this is really, really wonderful to see our South African struggle heroes and people that we hold so dear to our heart being celebrated on an international platform like this. It's amazing.
Yes, but Forrest Whitaker, I must say, is an exceptional actor. He is absolutely incredible. And just the respect that I think he, especially when he plays South African or African characters, there's also just a graciousness and a humbleness to how he really sort of like, you know, approaches these characters. And I've met Desmond Tutu several times. And he's absolutely just, it's gracious, it's beautiful.
I can't wait to see this. I cannot wait to see the Forgiven. Well, it's going to be a fun time for Soapy fans, because why? Bold and the Beautiful's Catherine Kelly Lang is going to be joining the cast of Isidingo! Yo, guys, on the 5th and the 6th of September, Catherine, who is famously known as Brooke Logan, will make an appearance on Isidingo as a storyline has been written to include the US actress. Now, Catherine is one of the original cast members of The Bold and the Beautiful. We know this. She's been on there since 1987 and she's still looking amazing. Come on.
Yes.
And of course, she's going to be on the set of Isidingo on the 4th of September. Her episodes will be aired on the 5th and the 6th. Isidingo airs at 7 p.m. every weekday on SABC3, and you have a chance to meet her at Menlyn Mall in Pretoria at 11 a.m. on Wednesday the 5th. That's tomorrow, at Maponya Mall in Soweto at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. And go do it. Go get out there. I mean, come on. It's going to be absolutely amazing to see her in the flesh.
Craziness.
Yeah, I think I'm actually there this weekend. I'm going to be up in Johannesburg.
Okay.
Yes,
You're going to make a turn there.
I think I should ask her a few questions.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
Girl.
Okay. Well, that was your local entertainment news.
And you know, the exciting bit, even more exciting than that, is that we're going to have Catherine Kelly Lang here in our studio on Friday.
That is amazing.
She'll be making an appearance here.
So if you can't make it to Joburg, you know, just stay here. This is going to be amazing.
Cool.
Now, of course, she is in the country, we've heard it, but she's been doing so many things. She's busy with the press, she's meeting long-time fans, she's taking in the beautiful sights of our country, even living out one of her passions of doing triathlons, and she recently just competed the Ironman Challenge in Port Elizabeth, the full one, 70.3 miles, dude.
She's in great shape.
Absolutely phenomenal. I can't
Maybe
believe,
that's the secret to it, because a lot of people have always been wondering why she doesn't age. How has she achieved this seeming immortality of
triathlons?
And lots of sleep.
Lots of
as
sleep
well.
and I think that was afterwards she passed out.
In your gear as well. So make sure that you don't miss out on our Friday edition of your Feel Good Breakfast Show, because she will be here. Can't wait to chat to her. So many questions.
Absolutely. The 7th of September. Set your alarm.
Ridge or Eric? Who is it? Who was...
Or is it? Let's turn now from the small screen to the silver screen. Mark Wahlberg is back to save the world, save the planet, at least save America. America, make America great again. Mile 22, JP Sebastian. Great to have you join us, man.
Hey.
We love Mark, man. We poke a little bit of fun because his movies can be a bit formulaic, but that's what we want. He delivers.
He's an
star.
action man, absolutely.
Yeah.
Although for me, like probably I'm sure people remember his role from The Departed. He was hilarious in that.
Yeah.
He's, as you can see, an action man, if you can make out a gun in that photograph. He is a CIA-type agent, but they call themselves this group Overwatch. So they're not the diplomatic option, they're not the military option.
They're the last option.
And the most American option. And you're supposed to believe, if you can stretch your imagination, that Mark Wahlberg is intelligent, and he's... that was mean, I'm sure. Shame. It's just because we've been describing him as an action man. But that his character is this genius, and he, he's able to think 4 steps ahead of you, and the story being that a gentleman by the name of Iko Uwais, who is one of the most exciting possible action heroes of all time, well, not of all time, but who's like building up...
Give him time, yeah.
Give him enough time, and this actor will be one of the most exciting things you see, has handed himself over to the American embassy in Indonesia, and he says that he's got information that could save the world. There's this cesium, radioactive material that is in the hands of the wrong people. He knows where it is, but in exchange for him being flown to America,
he needs a Mark Wahlberg protecting him.
So
every step of the way.
It's similar in that way to, remember SWAT, where they have to escort the asset from one part of the town to the other.
So something like this says it's got, as much as we want a wonderful narrative and a great storyline, all these things, it needs the action. Have you got a little taste for us?
Why not? So I really barely need to explain this clip to you. Like I said, he's been transported from the embassy to the airport, and in between, stuff goes down.
It's crazy. Let's take a look.
Yogi, go right! Get right.
Where's the signal? Child 1, mother.
Status. Other child 1, looks like the threats are breaking contact.
Check the tape. Where did we miss?
Rewinding footage. Bishop. This motorcycle's placed something on the side of the vehicle.
That was an intense sound. John Malkovich, he's upset.
we're back.
He's concerned. How many popcorns is he concerned over the amount of
JP
popcorns?
has like a minute to wrap a movie that they just took an hour to figure out that there's a bomb on the car for. This movie's a frenetic mess. There's nothing intelligent about the characters at all. The pacing is supposed to make you feel like they're 5 steps ahead of you at all times, so they're supposed to feel super clever, but it feels like when a teenage boy is trying to impress a girl, but he's totally fumbling clever ideas all the time because he's trying to mask his insecurities.
All the popcorns
nothing
are
beneath the surface.
overflowing.
Give Tom Cruise a gun. I mean, not Tom Cruise, Mark Wahlberg a gun. Give Iko Uwais more hand-to-hands. Don't just put a camera in the room, hit the red button, walk out, let him fight. But too messy for me.
Are there
4 out
any
of 10.
popcorns left?
4 out of 10. Sorry, I just had to squeeze that
4
really
out of
quickly.
10.
And that takes
okay.
there was more information and more useful data than Mark Wahlberg is able to do in like a 20-minute screed where he just like rains hell down on a person for not understanding
Before
something.
you take another popcorn off here, it's 4 popcorns is what mile 22 rates, courtesy of JP Sebastian.
Too distracting, for real. Just give me action. Give him the gun. Get on with it.
The gun, man.
But are there abs? Huh?
Are there
He
abs?
gave Tarzan a 4 as well. There was only abs.
Ugh,
Done
how
with
can you do
JP
that?
Sebastian.
Terrible.
Anyways, if you think that you are going to leave the stand-up comic Shimmy Isaacs' brand new show without a six-pack from the raucous laughter, then Moenie Swidunkney. The comedian's one-woman show Moenie opened last night, and it's back at the Cape Town Comedy Club tonight for another hilarious performance. Here to share more details is Shimmy Isaacs, everybody!
Shimmy!
Wow, looking absolutely amazing, might I add.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Thank you. This is a little bit of rough tongue I'm wearing.
A little bit. Oh, okay.
Yes,
Do the thing.
So clearly things have been going very well. I mean,
Very well, very well.
You know, the moolah's coming in. You've been out on
Yes,
the road. You've been
yes.
traveling. Where were you again very recently? You've
Oh
done
my
New
goodness!
York,
I
you've
just did. No. I'm actually going to be going there in September in Chicago. Yes. So I actually just did the East Coast. We traveled to East London. It's Cape Town, and then then I fly off to Johannesburg. I'm going to be at Monte Casino this week. And then it's George next week. And then, of course, it's Chicago!
The giggage.
You need to be warm for Chicago, though. I hear it's icy cold
They
there.
say so, but I have to buy there for there.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Yes. I can't buy the K-Ways, No,
definitely not. Definitely not.
No.
Buy the ones that are used to that kind of weather.
Yes.
But tell us about the show. I'm looking at the way it's written, the font of Muni, and I'm wondering whether I should go Muni or like
Muni. No.
Muni.
No, Muni.
Money.
There's
so many ways.
So the show, tell us what it's all about.
It is the one word that most men dread coming from their wives, because all it takes is a look. Money.
That is true.
Yes, it's the one word that most men dread from their wives.
Mm-hmm.
And the show is really about just looking at my life in my 30s. I obviously start with
Stunning.
Yes. I just turned 36. So I look at my life in my 30s and juxtaposing that with my 20s. Because in my 20s, I didn't care about much. It's like, no, marriage, it's overrated. What are you talking about? Now in my 30s, I find myself going, marry me, man. Marry me, man. Come on, man. I give you 2 kids.
Wow.
Wow.
2 kids.
I'm becoming my mother.
Yeah.
I'm becoming my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in my apartment needs to be in the place that I left it, and I've dreaded becoming my mother.
It happens.
Yes, and so this
Are you experiencing the same?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
this is really what the show is about. It is what are the things that we are fearing. Especially when you go over the cusp of 35. You're 36. I'm 36 literally till the minute that the clocks hits 12.
And even beyond that.
Even beyond that, I had to fill in a documentation the other day, and they said to me, "Oh, so you're 36?" I said, "No, I'm 36. My birthday is only the 24th of September, so until the 23rd of September, 12 o'clock, I will remain 36.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Well, certainly then make a date for the 4th of September, which is today. Of course, if you're in Cape Town and think you might miss the show, don't. Muni. The last performance takes place tonight at the Cape Town Comedy Club and starting at 8:30 p.m. Tickets will cost you 150 Rand and are available from computicket.com. Thank you very much.
Yes, I'm also available for pictures after the show.
Oh, Muni.
Thank you. Muni.
Well, that's a show definitely not to miss. Muni missed the show, me. That's Chevy Isaacs on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Expresso is still coming up after the break. Master KG will take to the stage and burn it up.
Dude, he's going to burn it up indeed. We heard the sound check. It sounds phenomenal. Yeah. Also, it's a Tuesday, which means we get into our health chats this morning with Dr. Darren Green, DG, as we like to call him, Dr. GG. It's all about Kidney Awareness Week. That's what we're focusing on, looking after your kidneys. What do you need to know around it? If you have any questions, remember that number 0214309881 to give us a call or a comment. We'll tackle that discussion with Dr. Darren after the break.
Enjoy a moment in between with McAfee. See you after the break.
Welcome back. You are tuned into a Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on SABC3. Welcome to it. So good to be hanging out with you. It's your Tuesday morning. Right now, it's quickly time to check out some of those funny, interesting, and random things that we stumbled across on social media this morning.
Yeah.
Ladies and gents, what do we have?
Well, I think this first one is definitely, definitely one lady and gents. This first one is definitely random. It's a lady who's reenacting the limbo dance move in an airport.
Hey.
I suppose it's quite frustrating to be at the airport the whole time. You've got to find ways to entertain yourself because she's just going in. I mean,
this is not her first rodeo. She's done this before.
This is what happens when you have a long layover. This is pretty much what I did on my recent trip. But that is good.
I mean, look at the foot control through that process.
And she keeps going. She keeps going. And look at the onlookers.
Okay. Oh, so she's going
cannot believe
row by row, basically.
That is crazy.
It is unbelievable. And then, of course, she's got like a bit of a victory dance move that she does in the end.
Wow.
There.
That's
Really
that's pro.
I
That's
will
really
never.
Pro randomness. Pro randomness.
I love that.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, I have a little bit of a feel-good story for you that's come across the What's Trending radar. And I mean, for any mama to be or parents expecting, knowing that at 22 weeks and 2 days, basically this little baba was born at only 22 weeks. And after they only given a 2% chance of survival, he beat the odds. Doctors have, said that this little baby boy won't survive. After 160 days in hospital, he's been discharged. But of course, the staff had to give him a little graduation.
I mean, that is so cute. That's so sweet.
That little hat, man.
Adorable.
Oh, man. Life will find a way. I love that. That is really, really sweet. So let's round it off with something of a bit of a cuteness overload. We love this dog. Why? Because it's chilling in bed. I think all of us wish at this time that we could be chilling, but this, if you're going to do it properly. This is how you get yourself super comfy.
It's like a little burrito.
It's a hot dog.
Ready to roll.
It's a hot dog.
We're rolling.
That is remarkable. That is remarkable. I think he deserves a round of applause.
Well done.
That was brilliant.
1.7 million views that little blanket roll has earned. That
I love it. Guys, thank you very much. What a mixed bag of stories.
I'm going to learn how to do that tonight.
He does it better than most people, I think. But that's brilliant. Thank you so much, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. But you can always let us know which hashtag video story has caught your attention online this morning. And you can share those thoughts with us online on our Facebook page or even on Twitter using that hashtag Expresso Show.
All right, Mpanaralitena, this morning we're joined by Limpopo Award, Music Award nominated artist, DJ, beatmaker, performer, Master KG, who's alongside Team Mosha to perform Waya Waya.
Ugari kemerisa Hey, Master KG. Repila waya waya. Waziba bidifaga man. Waziba bupilo byo. Ogaringe berisahwe. Repila waya waya. Waziba bidifaga man. Waziba bupilo byo. Ogaringe berisahwe. Repila waya waya. Waziba bidifaga man. Washa. Washa. Just 1, 2, 3, what's up? Chiga, chiga,
Okay, so re tlhalosetse meauthi ne gore mafoko a teng a ke re wa re nka re bophelo bona bo sa fele ne re phela waya and then
gore bophelo ka mokgwa bo lo monate ka teng bo no monate ka ona o ga re nke be re sagwe
ne
re phela o fithela re sagwe ya
life is so good, you must just live forever. You must be forever. Wire. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Master KG, Team Master Wire. On your Feel Good Breakfast Show, let us know on our social media platforms what you thought of that performance. I'm sure it invigorated your Tuesday morning, certainly.
In your national news, an explosion at the Rainmetal Denel munition in Somerset West in the Western Cape yesterday afternoon claimed the lives of 8 people. A media statement released last night said an explosion occurred during operations and destroyed an entire building and immediate surrounding blast walls. Circumstances surrounding the explosion are still unclear at this stage, and an investigation was due to continue at first light this morning. The affected areas have been cordoned off due to it still being unsafe. Cape Town supply dams have just squeezed out of the city's defined danger zone as the recent rains have raised the combined water level to just on 66% of storage capacity. The end of the defined danger zone is when the dam level rises above 65% at the end of the rainy season. This is the highest the dam levels have been at this time of the year in 2 years. Now, the city hopes this will persuade the National Department of Water and Sanitation to go easy on severe water restrictions. Now moving further abroad, carcasses of 87 elephants have been found near a famous wildlife sanctuary in Botswana. Dr. Mike Chase of Elephants Without Borders said the scale of poaching deaths was the largest ever seen in Africa. The spike coincides with Botswana's anti-poaching unit being disarmed in May, a month after President Mokgweetsi Masisi was sworn into office. Botswana has the world's largest elephant population, but poachers have been breaching its border. Most of the 87 dead elephants were killed for their tusks. 5 white rhinos have also been poached. And then finally, officials in Brazil have blamed a lack of funding and the dilapidated state of the museum for a huge fire that ravaged the country's National Museum in Rio de Janeiro on Sunday. One of the largest anthropology and natural history collections in the Americas was almost totally destroyed. The cause is not known, but Culture Minister Sergio Salateo was quoted as saying that it may have been ignited by a small paper hot air balloon landing on the roof. Most of the 20 million items the museum contained went up in flames. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Here's another look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
In football, Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric and Mohamed Salah have all been named as the 3 finalists for FIFA's Men's Player of the Year. All 3 players were also finalists for the UEFA Player of the Year award, which Luka Modric took home in Monaco last week. In the Men's Coach of the Year category, it's a tough one. Croatia's Zlatko Dalic, France's Didier Deschamps and Real Madrid's Zinedine Zidane all making the shortlist. The FIFA award ceremony will take place on the 24th of September in London. In on to tennis, it was plain sailing pretty much for Novak Djokovic in the US Open round of 16 last night as he beat Portugal's João Sousa in straight sets. Two-time US champion showed why he is one of the favorites for this year's title, cruising to a 6-3, 6-4, 6-3 victory. Also in action, Naomi Osaka moved into her first Grand Slam quarterfinal with a 2-1 win over Arina Sabalenka, whilst last year's beaten ladies finalist Madison Keys beat Dominika Kibelkova in straight sets. Then finally onto netball, bringing it back home, the University of the Free State. They kept their place at the top of the varsity netball log with a crushing 92-46 victory over the University of the Western Cape in Bloem last night. The home crowd were treated to a thrilling match as their team led from start to finish to keep that unbeaten run in the tournament going. In other results, Sapaka thrashed VUT 94-30. Marties beat UJ by 33 points, while Tuks downed the Matibas by 67 points to 39. We'll touch on those headlines again in a half hour or so.
Right, let's quickly take another look at your roads. Before we do that, a petrol price update. And according to the Minister of Energy, Jeff Radebe, petrol is expected to increase by 4.9 cents per litre. 95 octane petrol will cost you 15 Rand 49 cents at the coast and 16 Rand and 8 cents in Gauteng. Then taking a look at the roads, Western Cape and Athlone, that's what we have for you. There's congestion on the N2 inbound, that's between Robert Sobukwe Road and Mowbray Main Road with an average speed of around 25 kilometers per hour. I know that there's traffic all around the country. If you are heading out on the roads, please drive with care.
More than a club, more than an appliance brand. Defy.
As we get into your weather, we've asked to see some of your pictures, what it looks like in your parts of the world on your Tuesday morning. We got a beautiful picture this morning from Jan Ludik. Good morning, Jan. He has sent a beautiful picture of the sun's rays over there in Mooirivier. And you can expect some sunny conditions with a maximum of around 23 degrees with some rain expected for Friday and Saturday. That's on the cards for Mooirivier. Jan, thank you very much for your picture. That looks absolutely stunning. Great way to start your morning. But we'd like to see more of your pictures as well. Please post your morning pictures, maybe beautiful sunrise, on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page, and we'll take a look at it a little bit later on this morning. With regards to your temperatures going into your Tuesday, Polokwane is starting off on 11 minimum with a maximum 30, Mbombela 12 and a high of 30, Pretoria 12.28, Johannesburg 10.26, Maikeng 13.30, Klerksdorp 12 minimum with a maximum 29 degrees, Kimberley 7.29, Bloemfontein 6.25, Richards Bay 14.27, Pietermaritzburg starting off on 10 minimum, reaching a high of 26 degrees. Durban 16.24, Mthatha 9.27, East London 15.26, Cradock 6.27, Port Elizabeth 13.25, George 9.19, Sutherland 2 minimum with a maximum 16 degrees, Cape Town 10.16 with some rain expected later on today, Worcester 8.18, Springbok 2.14, and Uppington starting off on 7 minimum, reaching a high of 28 degrees. It's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for the 7 o'clock. I'll take another look at those temperatures in half an hour's time.
Well, can you believe it? It's the 4th of September 2018 and it's time to take a look at what's trending on Twitter at Expresso Show. And today is the birthday of my icon, Giselle Knowles Carter, Beyonce, who's turning 37 years old today. And that's what's trending basically on social media. You can't blame people for it. Meredith Gray, for example, saying this is her mood today because she can tweet about Beyonce all day and no one can say anything about it because it is hashtag B-Day. Also, Ava saying it's midnight on the East Coast. Time to offer well wishes and warmest regards to a living legend. Put some respect on it. A happy, healthy, best life living birthday to Beyonce and many more. And here's one from the Beehive saying hashtag Beehive. What hashtag should we use for Beyonce's birthday tomorrow? Reply with your suggestions. I'm sure it's definitely going to be hashtag B-Day. So with that, I say happy birthday, Beyonce. Oh, 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 oh. Ah!
Wow, that was something
You know
to
you're part of
behold.
the Beehive when. Yeah, happy birthday, Beyonce. But listen, let's quickly take a break. When we get back, we focus on Kidney Health Awareness Week, which it is. The good Dr. Darren Green joins us for our discussion. And of course, you can give us a call 0214309881.
And then we're going to be making some
Got it.
really delicious and healthy veggie sausages because we're making hot dogs.
Look at that.
Hey, out of veggies.
Look at it. It's
Levels.
delicious.
Oh, yum.
Wow.
I want some.
Cannot
right
wait.
here.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, it is, and it is a Tuesday morning. Thank you so much for choosing to start the day off with us. Now, we all know that our kidneys are among some of the most important organs in our entire body, but I don't think we all really understand what their function is. Well, this week is Kidney Health Awareness Week, and so we have called on our trusted friend in medicine, Dr. Darren Green, to unpack what these organs are all about, shaped like red beans. Dr. Darren Green, good morning. Good morning, senor.
Morning, doctor. Do they really look like beans like we're seeing here?
They do indeed. The shape is typically like the shape of a kidney bean.
And where are they located on the body? Like, I think a lot of people don't know where they're located on the body.
Yeah, so they're the size of a fist. Your fist, look at your fist, and then just under the rib cage, next to the spine on each side. So, yeah, just under at your back. But that's how high up they are. A lot of people think when they're getting really lower back pain that the kidneys, my kidneys are hurting. But it's actually quite high up, just under the rib cage. So, yeah.
Okay, so that's where they are. And now that we know where they are, and we do say that they are among the most vital organs in our entire body, what exactly is their function?
Well, their job is multifaceted, from filtering blood and getting rid of things like toxins and unwanted drugs that we take, for example, whether that be recreational drugs and clearance, or whether that be medication that we're using. The byproducts need to be excreted. So obviously that, as well as filtering the blood to regulate things like your electrolyte balance. Your electrolytes are things like sodium, potassium, your salt content. All very important when we're looking at how much water is kept back in the body and how much water we let go of, which can affect then the blood volume and your blood pressure in turn. So you must understand the function is vital in regulating blood pressure, obviously in filtering out toxins, but also looking at the immune system, producing red blood cells, the hormones that control obviously producing red cells like erythropoietin. Remember the ones, EPO,
Okay,
the cyclists that cheat by getting EPO infusions and transfusions.
Right, yes.
To produce more red cells so they can carry more oxygen and exercise better. So that's also part of the kidneys. And then, of course, they're also involved with hormones in terms of regulating good bone health through vitamin D and cholecalciferol as well. So they've got quite a few functions.
They're very important.
Sure.
Well, with all those functions you just mentioned, that also naturally means they're more susceptible to problems. What are some of the issues with the kidneys, if we can put it that way?
So if you take their primary function, which is to filter blood, you can imagine the things that affect them are things where the blood supply to the kidney needs to be in check and intact. So does the blood volume. You need to have enough pressure in the system, pushing blood there all the time, so that enough arrives at the kidney to filter in the first place. So that's important. Along with that, obviously, things that affect the kidney would be things that can affect the filters, block the filters or damage the filters. There's a host of cells, about 1 million to 2 million per kidney, called nephrons, specialized cells. And if you roll out the amount of tubes that they have and you know, join them back to back, it would span 16 kilometers, to give you an idea.
In each kidney?
That's how tightly those tubes are packed. That filters, obviously, the blood, and then obviously allows urine to pass at the end as the end product. So it's a really fine mesh that I'm talking about here. And you get 2 million nephrons per kidney. So it's quite magnificent how compact and how important it actually is.
So your blood actually travels quite a long way before it actually gets through your entire body.
I mean, exactly. And the rate, obviously, that it's filled 180 liters a day. That's what those babies filter every single day, so that you can be free of toxins and so that you can regulate your electrolytes and fluid balance better.
And you can survive on one as a human being, which is even more extraordinary.
That's incredible.
We'll talk about that very shortly when we return again with our Medical Tuesday chat with Dr. Darren Green. It is Kidney Health Awareness Week.
Thank you very much, guys. Taking a break from our kidney discussions this morning, jumping into the kitchen right now, and I never thought I'd actually be excited to say this, but today we're making vegetarian hot dogs. Now, in the past, of course, I'd say no to a plant-based hot dog and grab a delicious and juicy boerewors roll instead, as one does. But this new range of Woody's vegan sausages has really got me all excited this morning. And who better to show us how to make a delicious plant-based veggie hot dog than Abigail Donnelly herself, Woolworths creative and trend director. Abigail, lovely to have you back in the kitchen.
Morning, yeah. And let me say, this is even another step. It's a vegan one.
That's the thing, okay.
It's vegan.
And I love the fact, because I walked in here this morning and I saw these sausages and I thought, okay, my goodness, what's the deal? What's the deal? Because they look delicious just from the get-go.
This is the new plant-based range that's just been launched into Woolworths.
Yes.
And these are the sausages.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do today is make you the best gourmet sausage.
All right, because
hot dog that you've ever had.
I am starving, so I'm hungry.
There's a different range. This is the sweet potato, butter bean, and red pepper.
Nice.
But there's also a butternut one and a smoked paprika one, which is great.
Okay, so you have those two
So I've got some great toasted rolls here. Again, you don't have to make a hot dog. You can put them into a salad. You can have some cauliflower mash, whatever you fancy. But they are really delicious.
No, I need to see this. Okay.
I've got this amazing. It's available in Woolies. It's the Clark's Kitchen
Chipotle
sauce, on trend, delicious, no sugar.
That is beautiful. There's a smoky kind of flavour to it.
Exactly. They also have a beautiful bourbon kind of one as well.
All right.
And
so no oil in there.
No oil in there. Just give them. They just need to be heated through a little bit.
Yeah.
And it just gives it that yummy extra flavour. And then just give it like a toss in there.
And that will obviously absorb all of that flavours now.
I mean, you don't have to fry them in there. You can just put your chipotle sauce, but it's nice to have them warm.
That's
and
the
the
thing.
sauce is nice and warm because it's, again, that comforting. Because a boy roll is obviously warm.
Exactly. So whilst we wait for those to heat up, what other ingredients are we going to pair it with?
Okay, so we've got some beautiful guacamole. There's a plain one or a spicy, zesty one,
right,
which is divine. And I'm just going to obviously lashings off this.
This is the great thing about
beautiful.
One of the boerewors. You know, don't be shy with the ingredients.
Exactly.
You know?
Beautiful pickled onions, which is also on trend.
Oh, fantastic.
Look at the colour, the green, and it's all about the base, the colour, the crunch, and the drizzle.
The base, the crunch, the drizzle, and
the base, the colour, the drizzle, the crunch.
Base, the cruzzle, the...
Yes, and that's all about what we're going to show the consumers about plant-based, because you need all those things just for and even if it's not vegan or vegetarian, you need those kind of things.
Absolutely. But the keyword is Woolworths. SMS that to 33728 if you really want to try this vegan kind of gourmet hot dog we are making here this morning with the new sausage available from Woolies.
Look how beautiful. Look how that is. It's full of colour, and you can see all the sweet potato and the butter bean, and then just as I said, for the crunch, you can use the beetroot chips.
Okay.
These are fantastic sweet potato chips, and then you just kind
Put
of
that on
push
there.
them in there.
I don't know how I'm going to
and
bite
then
into that, but
you will. You will.
you will.
You
But you
will.
mentioned your son is absolutely
Yeah, so
massively
he
fond
came
of
to me
this.
the other day when I was getting ready for work, and he said, "Mom, I did a tasting of those vegan sausages in Woolworths the other day, and you have to get them for the weekend."
Really?
I couldn't believe it. I was like,
like,
where are you
hey,
coming
boy,
from?
you
You're
know?
11 years old, which is amazing. So they are packed with flavour.
Oh,
and I
man.
think, and I was the first person when I was doing the actual shoot for the packaging.
Yeah.
I was like, really? You know, and then I obviously had to taste one, and
Yeah.
we were like, oh my gosh, these are amazing.
But I'm sure
So-
because of all the addition in there, the red pepper in there as
and
well.
something new and unique.
That's the
and
thing.
That's what it's
and I'm
great
always
about.
looking for something new because, I mean,
Yes.
you always get so stuck in your eating ways. and you
Exactly.
branch out a little bit, do something else, do yourself a favor and really try these guys out. The keyword, excuse me, is Woolworths 233728. I'm going to try this out. Do you mind?
Please do. I want to see if you can do that. It's a good break. Yeah, take a few
can't
chips
promise-
out, yes.
I'll
That's just
take
for
it.
effect.
It's just for effect.
You can have
Okay.
them on the side as well.
Here we go. Hang on,
There we
hang
go.
on.
I haven't had breakfast.
That is like an explosion of flavour.
How amazing. And
So good.
texture, and the sausage is actually kind of creamy. It's really, and you know what, just to think that you're actually having something that's really good for you.
Absolutely.
And for the environment as well.
There we have it. Listen, try this out. You won't regret this. The keyword is Woolworths. Estimate that to 33728. Abigail, thank you very, very much
It's a
for joining
pleasure.
us
Thanks
this
for
morning. I
having
love
me.
this drive towards a more plant-based way of eating. I think it's absolutely
Exactly.
fantastic and making it so easy with available ingredients like these. Abigail, you're such a star. Woolworths
Thank
to
you.
33728.
Wow, that looks really delicious. If after trying all of that you feel like you need a bit of a sweet snack, well, look no further because Chef Clem has just the thing for you. He'll be making Melting Moments cookies with a crazy custard filling today on Afternoon Express at 4:30. It'll definitely be set to get you and the whole family wanting more. Catch it on Afternoon Express today at 4:30.
Welcome back. We are chatting to Dr. Darren Green because it is Kidney Health Awareness Week. We're taking your calls with questions about kidney health on 0214309881.
Now, Dr. Darren Green, before we all start getting paranoid about our kidneys, I mean, they play a very important role in the body. What are some of the symptoms we need to look out for should your kidneys start to get problems?
Yes, so I think because you produce urine, so alterations in what your normal urine production is, and your body can produce between 1 litre and 2 litres of urine a day, by the way. So understanding that you either produce no urine and you're consuming enough fluid, that water's going somewhere, something's not going right with the filtration process. Then, of course, you can swell from holding back and retaining too much fluid. Your eyes can become puffy and so can your face. As well. You can then have long-term development due to the red cells. You can have anemia as well, which is an iron shortage, and your immunity can be compromised. Swelling of the feet and ankles as also part of the fluid balance issues. And then if you have things that cause your electrolytes to be deranged, like if you get a high potassium count, for example, that can affect your heart rhythm and even get rhythm disturbances. So generally people are feeling tired, they're feeling swollen, they're feeling bloated. And a simple urine test that can demonstrate, for example, the leakage of protein into the urine can be quite useful.
Yeah, and this is exactly why kidneys are so important to our bodies, because once something goes wrong with them, so many other things go wrong in terms of the
100%.
symptoms you mentioned. But fortunately, these are treatable.
Yes. So a lot of the causes of kidney disease are reversible. One of the big ones is dehydration. Someone that does an endurance event, for example, is sweating a lot, they're losing a lot of fluid, they're not replacing the fluid, their kidneys are like raisins, they're craving, they're dry, they need the fluid, obviously. And if that happens, obviously, you could cause then what's called pre-renal failure, where the volume of blood going to the kidneys is not enough. And also, if you don't have sufficient water in the blood component, the kidneys can get damaged. When you take certain medications, they can also damage the kidneys chemically. Anti-inflammatories that we use for a bit of muscle pain and back pain, taken in the absence of enough water and fluid, cause significant damage to the kidneys and can actually cause permanent damage for all those athletes and sportsmen out there that pop pills regularly for pain and a niggle and a joint pain, especially our marathon and endurance cyclists.
Sure. That's quite scary.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to kidney failure, what's the treatment for that?
Sure, so you basically have 3 options. Hemodialysis, where you have an artificial kidney as a machine outside the body, where your blood is relayed through that machine and then pumped back into you. Hemodialysis, peritoneal dialysis, which works on the same principle, obviously, slight differences. And then, of course, a transplant, which is so difficult due to the amount of people that actually need organs to be donated in terms of transplants in our country.
Yeah. We were talking just during the break now about, if it serves such an important function, how are we as human beings able to survive with one kidney?
That's a great question. I know a lot of family members end up, because of the typing and the match and the tissue match, donating a kidney to someone that otherwise wouldn't be able to live. And the truth is, you can survive on one kidney, provided the one kidney has at least 75% of its function. So you can imagine, when you have one kidney, you have to look after that kidney.
Yeah.
And if you lose more than 25%, your body can cope up to a certain with filtering the whole body's blood with one kidney, because the specialized cells that I mentioned, the nephrons, they can swell up and become quite large and then handle the increased volume that the other kidney can't anymore.
Yeah.
And that can happen to compensate unto a point. So we need to look after them.
We certainly do. Well, we've got a caller on the line, Louis from Pretoria. Good morning, Louis. What's your comment or question for Dr. Darren Green?
Dr. Darren Green, good morning, Doctor. It's Louis speaking here. I just wanted to find out why did the disease of my son, he had a hemochromatosis, and they had too much iron in the blood, which the kidneys could not control.
Yeah, what was you asking?
So
why?
what was your question, Louis? Sorry?
The question was that my son died of the disease called hemochromatosis.
Oh, yes.
Had too much iron in the blood.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
And the kidneys couldn't control that.
Okay.
100%. So hemochromatosis, often a disease that they talk about in many movies, is a storage disease. Like you get diseases where your body has excess storage of things like copper. In this case, it's iron. Okay. And iron can be deposited in different organs and build up with toxic effects, obviously damaging the cell. So when it comes to the kidney and those beautiful cells I spoke about, if iron obviously is collecting in the kidney and blocking those filters and leading to damage of those filters, you can imagine you have long-term effects. The problem with hemochromatosis, obviously, is it needs to be detected quite early, and often certain chemical agents are given to try and bind the iron and remove it from the body, and that can only happen until a certain point. So really tough disease, and I'm sorry to hear about your loss, but thank you for making people aware that hemochromatosis also can contribute to kidney disease.
All right. Well, we're going to keep our lines open, 0214309881, as we continue our Medical Tuesday chat with Dr. Darren Green about Kidney Health Awareness Week.
Well, our kidneys are super vital to us, and that's why Dr. Darren Green is here zooming in on this subject. If you've got questions after the break, 0214039881, give us a call and he'll answer your questions.
Then JP, Sebastian and I are going to chew through what sounds like an incredible true story, Black Klansman. That's where I'll leave it for now. Politically supercharged movie coming up after the break.
welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. You're just in time as we continue our health chat with Dr. Darren Green. It's Kidney Health Awareness Week. So naturally, if you have a comment or a question about the kidneys, we'd love to hear from you. That number is 021-430-9881.
We were actually asking a very trivial but perhaps interesting question, if you will, that if the kidney is the size of your fist, and let's say you and I are brothers, we have differently sized fists.
I hear you.
Does that mean I could most probably donate a kidney to you? Like if we're matching, can you take my size kidney?
Yes, I can, definitely. Yeah. It's not about the size of the kidney. As long as there's space to house the kidney when they transplant it, it's more about the tissue typing and the match, you know, so you don't get rejected. So they look at a few issues for any organ transplant.
Very interesting. Well, Dr. Darren Green, we have Anonymous on the line that's got a comment or a question. Good morning, Anonymous.
Good morning, and how are you all in Cape Town?
We are
well,
good. What's your comment or question for Dr. Darren Green?
I've been diagnosed about 4 years ago. I couldn't go to the toilet and pass water. And I was told I've got a paralyzed bladder. It's called a tonic bladder. And I've got to do self-catheterization. And I'd like to know, can this be reversed? Can something be done about it?
Great
so that I can go normally to the toilet.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Self-catheterization is tough. So in order that you don't explode from urine retention, and also that you don't have leakage at untimely, events, it's important to understand. It's a really tough thing to do, and it can be quite painful. It increases your risk of bladder infections. So I understand why she's asking the question. It all depends on exactly what the cause is of her bladder being atonic or the nerve supply to the bladder. You get a condition called a neurogenic bladder, which is related, obviously, to the nerve supply of the bladder. And the nerves control the gateway. They control the toll gate at the end of the bladder, which are the muscle layers. And the one muscle layer needs to relax, and the other one actually needs to contract in order to facilitate voiding of the bladder. And that is under the influence of the nerve supply to the bladder. But those things can be affected by spinal cord lesions of the spine, lower back problems. They can be affected by things like toxins or other systemic diseases. Even TB can cause that kind of problem. So it would depend what's causing, obviously, the bladder's tone to be affected by the nerve supply, whether it can be reversed or not. But I'm sure she's consulted a good urologist, who are the people that specialize in this specific condition, that will advise, what they've looked for that's reversible already or not.
Okay. Well, Anonymous, thank you for that call. And our lines do remain open. It's 021-430-9881. Quickly, Dr. Darren Green, when it comes to the flow of blood into the kidneys, is it true that there flows more blood into the kidneys than into the heart and the brain? Yeah,
so yes, there is a large amount. I think I mentioned the volume as being 180 liters per day. And it's also got to do with the vital function that the kidney has in terms of it. But, you must understand that it needs to filter that blood so the blood can go back to the heart. So the heart is obviously very important as the distributor of this blood.
All right, we'll keep our lines open once again, 021-430-9881, and when we come back, we'll have Dr. Darren Green share some tips on how to keep those kidneys healthy, especially if you still have good working ones.
In the national news, an explosion at the Rheinmetall Denel munition in Somerset West in the Western Cape yesterday afternoon claimed the lives of 8 people. An investigation was due to continue at first light this morning, and the affected areas have been cordoned off due to it still being unsafe. Cape Town supply dams have just squeezed out of the city's defined danger zone as the recent rains have raised the combined water levels to just on 66% of storage capacity. This is the highest the dam levels have been at this time of the year in 2 years. On the international front, carcasses of 87 elephants have been found near a famous wildlife sanctuary in Botswana. Dr. Mike Chase of Elephants Without Borders says the scale of poaching deaths was the largest ever seen in Africa. And then finally, officials in Brazil have blamed a lack of funding and the dilapidated state of the museum for a huge fire that ravaged the country's National Museum in Rio de Janeiro on Sunday. One of the largest anthropology and natural history collections in the Americas was almost totally destroyed. Well, that was your 7:30 news update. Here's another look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
Let's start with football. Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric and Mohamed Salah have been named as the 3 finalists for FIFA's Men's Player of the Year. The FIFA Awards will take place on the 24th of September in London. In tennis, plain sailing for Novak Djokovic in the US Open round of 16 last night as he beat Portugal's João Sousa in straight sets. And in netball, bringing it back home, the University of the Free State kept their place at the top of the varsity netball log with a crushing 92-46 victory over UWC last night. Also in action, Puka thrashed VUT 94-30, whilst Marty's beat UJ by 33 points. We'll expand on those stories one last time at 8 o'clock.
Right, let's quickly take another look at your roads this morning. Before we do so, a quick petrol price update. According to the Minister of Energy, Jeff Radebe, petrol is expected to increase by 4.9 cents per litre. 95-octane petrol will cost you R15.49 at the coast and R16.08 in Gauteng. Just be aware of that. The petrol price is set to rise. With regards to your traffic, there is congestion on the N1 southbound, and that's at the old Johannesburg on-ramp, and you can expect some heavy delays in that area. That's what I have for you in terms of your traffic this morning. If you're still heading out on the roads, please drive with care, and I'll bring you a final update just after 8.
More than a club, more than an appliance brand. Defy.
Getting into your weather, we've asked to see some of your pictures, and we are taking a look at some of those awesome pictures you've sent in. Thank you very much for Leanne Gioventrella. Good morning, Leanne, and she sent in a picture all the way from Doonside and Namanzim Toti. Absolutely beautiful. Love that part of the world. Plenty of sunshine is expected on that side with a maximum of 24 degrees going into your Tuesday. Thank you very much, Leanne. Appreciate your picture. Consider you sending those pictures to us. Post them on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page, and we'll gladly show them right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Getting into your temperatures, heading into your Tuesday, Polokwane 11 minimum, reaching a high of 30 degrees. Mbombela 12 and a high of 30. Pretoria 12.28. Johannesburg 10.26. Mahikeng 13.30. Klerksdorp on 12 minimum with a maximum 29. Kimberley 7.29. Bloemfontein starting off on 6 minimum, nice and cool but warming up to 25 degrees. Richards Bay 14.27. Pietermaritzburg 10.26. Durban 16.24. Mthatha 9 minimum with a maximum 27. East London 15.26. Cradock starting off on 6 minimum, your maximum 27. Port Elizabeth 13.25. George 9.19. Sutherland 2 minimum, nice and cold, staying cool with a maximum 16. Cape Town also rather chilly today, 10 and a maximum of 16, and some rain expected late on. Worcester 8.18. Springbok 2.14, and Uppington 7 minimum, your maximum 28 degrees. That wraps up your weather and your temperatures for the 7:30 bulletin. I'll bring you a final weather update just after 8.
All right, we're back again with Dr. Darren Green. Kidney Health Awareness Week it is, and in our final discussion, just to reiterate that, because somebody was asking a question on social media, how one kidney, can you live with one kidney?
Yes. Yeah.
If you lose more than 25% of the functioning, you're in trouble, big trouble.
Yeah.
But another question came through now.
That's right. On social media, we were asked, the lady disclosed that she is pregnant. She drinks 4 liters of water a day, but there's still protein in her urine.
So protein in your urine during pregnancy is certainly something you need to let your gynae know about. Because it's associated with blood pressure conditions in pregnancy called preeclampsia, which could lead to effects on the baby you're carrying. So I would recommend that question and that caller certainly goes and lets a gynae know that there's protein in the urine. It'll need to be quantified. It will also, there are other causes of protein in the urine besides having high blood pressure, but she'll need to be monitored.
Okay, very interesting. Now, Dr. Darren Green, we have disclosed, yes, you can live with only 1 kidney, but how will your lifestyle have to change in terms of your diet?
Good question. So a lot of people will ask, do I need to become a vegan if I have a kidney transplant? And the question in terms of kidney disease needs to be understood